already cleaned the third helmet.
These are different helmets.
He's nervous about the holiday.
I'm not nervous.
Really? You look a little nervous.
It's just strategy.
Sure it is.
I just want everyone to have a good time at the party.
Good morning! I'm ready! What are we doing?
There are still 3 hours until the holiday.
It's the same thing every time.
We are firefighters. At the holiday, we are on duty. We keep order.
We were let go for the weekend.
Well, yes, and?
Inhabitants.
He'll kill me one day with his pace.
Breathe.
We are on duty. We must maintain order.
We are on holiday. You have a tangerine and tinsel in your pocket.
This is operational equipment. Hello, I am Harry Iglov.
No, not on the list. Regulation, buddy. Nothing personal.
What? No, but I've lived here for 3 years.
Toby, look at the bowl.
He didn't get a gift.
Regulation.
Toby,
There are rules.
Toby.
What do you suggest?
I have a right. I'll get it and give it to him.
Here is your gift.
Harry, this is for you. Merry Christmas.
Me?
You. Open it.
But why?
Because it's Christmas. Do you need another reason?
Thank you.
Dust in the eyes. Definitely dust.
Toby, the snow is wet. There is no dust.
The order must be perfect even on a holiday. I ran around the square twice! They're selling hot pies around the corner.
How do you know that?
Welcome to my.
Please, one pie. With cabbage, or with potato, or with... Both! Give me both! Tell me, Max, are you always this slow, or is it holiday mode?
I live thoughtfully.
I'm just finding a kindred spirit in him.
You're a snake. You're cold-blooded. You have no choice but to be slow. I call it mindfulness. Stop.
What?
See? An open manhole, a technical well. It's dangerous.
Toby, today is a day off.
Lola, we are firefighters. We are never off duty when there is a potential danger.
Or maybe someone is just looking for an excuse to feel busy.
Sonny, your opinion was not requested.
There are some structures there. I need to inspect it. I'll go down for a minute.
You don't have equipment!
I'll be quick.
Everything is fine!
Toby!
What happened?
Toby fell down!
How?
Like this!
Deep. 5 meters, no less.
I'll run for a roll!
Ouch. Everything is fine. Everything is under control.
Fox calling. I fell into a well on the eastern edge of the square, requesting assistance. Over. No.
Jump 1 failed. So, I am a firefighter. Firefighters evaluate the situation and act. Situation, I'm in a pit. Depth great, radio dead, exit absent, panic inexpedient. I'm panicking. Rabbit, why are you always right? And next time, I will listen. A wonderful Christmas it's turning out to be. Here is the rope! I ran to the warehouse and back in 40 seconds! Personal record!
No, it's too short.
I'll bring another one!
Jack, wait! Interesting problem. About a meter is missing.
I can hold it, but I'm too wide to go down there. I know.
Harry?
Sunny is long. I prefer elongated. If Sunny hangs down and the bear holds his tail, the rope will be enough.
You want to use me as a living cable.
Yes!
Will this be in my biography?
Sunny, please!
Okay. But I don't want Leo to know about this.
I brought it! I brought it!
It's not needed anymore.
What do you mean not needed? I was running!
This is impressive. I am impressing myself.
Focus!
Grab onto me. No tickling, please.
Snake?
Are you hanging from the hatch?
I am a rescue rope. It's a noble role. Grab on.
Snake, you are a hero. I know. Grab faster. The bear is heavy and gets tired slowly, but he gets tired.
I can hear you!
Pull! 1, 2!
I'm pulling!
Pulling.
What has happened?
Don't disturb!
Okay.
Everything is under control. Planned inspection of underground communications.
Toby, you were without a radio in a pit, alone. You were without a radio in a pit, alone.
Everything is under control. Planned inspection of underground communications. I was used as a rope. On Christmas. You were used as a hero. That's different. I agree. Go on.
What is happening here? I was reported an incident!
Situation stabilized, Commander.
You fell into a pit.
I was conducting an inspection.
In a pit.
Yes, Commander.
It's good that they pulled you out.
Yes, Commander.
Who came up with the idea to use the snake?
I did.
Clever. Well done. Listen, Harry. Was it you who came up with the plan with Sunny?
Well, the idea was simple.
A simple idea that saved you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Citizens, this year was special because we were all...
It was Lola this morning who did something good. I just returned it.
You returned much more.
You know, there's this thought. When someone does good, it doesn't disappear. It goes in a circle.
Like I run?
No, Jack. Not as fast.
Deeply said.
Agreed.
Toby,
What?
next time, ask first, then crawl in.
It was a special case.
It's always a special case.
Okay, maybe.
That's progress.
Dear.
How long has he been talking?
2 words in 5 minutes.
Unbearable.
I find a meditative beginning in this.
Sunny, keep quiet.
Together! Merry Christmas! Yay!
That's what I wanted to say. Good Christmas turned out.
Despite the pit,
Thanks to friends.
This is what we find. It's the circle. Coming back to you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
That's what neighbors do.
What neighbors do. It's the circle.